let's talk about, maybe I'm throwing a little too much shade on the Denver Broncos right now. Broncos fans are probably sitting back saying like, hey, like what the hell are you doing talking about Joe Burrow when we're out here kicking the absolute crap out of Kirk Cousins and the Falcons at home here? I mean, it was just
This is one of the best wins by any team. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, this is one of the best wins of any team by this season. The only win that comes to mind that's immediately better was the Ravens beating the Broncos 41-10 a couple weeks ago.
Or maybe the Ravens over the Bills. But yeah, this was 38-6. The Broncos beat the Falcons, and Kirk Cousins in Atlanta are regressing. It looks like it's hard not to say you're regressing when you lose 38-6, but there are great stories in the NFL this season, Ziggy. We've talked about quite a few of them over the course of the year, and the Steelers and their two quarterbacks coming over for next to nothing, leading them to an 8-2 record. The Lions, the dominance that they've had given that franchise's history. I think the Chargers with Jim Harbaugh, the turnaround has been another great one, but I'm not sure there's actually been a better story in the NFL than what Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos are doing, despite having, I believe, 6-5 record on the season. They're not lighting it up, but for them, I mean, there were expectations they might be one of the worst teams in the league. You think about Sean Payton when he came in, tasked with cleaning up the Nathaniel Hackett mess. I mean, it wasn't really pretty a lot of times last season. They had that little stretch where Russ got hot and they were threatening the playoffs, but that kind of fell off towards the end of the year. And, they wind up drafting Bo Nix, who a lot of people, including a few of us on this show at times, doubted. You were a fan of his, but I know I certainly had my doubts. Jack certainly had his doubts about Bo. He's a little bit older, lacked a little bit of arm strength. At Oregon, a lot of people credited the receivers that they had there last year or just the talent around him. And Sean Payton saw someone who fit his system. Now, I'm a believer in this, and sometimes it doesn't work out, but when you have your guy, I think you have to go get him. That's why I can't get too high or too mad on the Giants for drafting Daniel Jones. Like, they had their guy, they liked him. I mean, in hindsight, it's easy to say bad decision, but Sean Payton really liked Bo Nix. If you think that you have the guy, go for it. The Browns did it with Baker Mayfield, and maybe they regret letting him go here as he's playing really well in Tampa Bay. Yeah, maybe, yes. In Tampa Bay, he's thriving. So when you have your guy, I'm not going to get mad at you if you go for him. And right now, Bo Nix is absolutely rewarding the Denver Broncos. 4 touchdowns, 307 yards, 145 rating today. I mean, he was unbelievable. I'm not sure how much of it you got to watch, but it was just a great game.
Yeah, I was able to see the game. And, there's never been a rookie quarterback to throw for 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, 300 or more yards, and an 80% completion percentage or better. Like, he was lights out today. And, this wasn't doing it against the best defense in the NFL, but this Falcons team, it's not like this is some garbage football team, right? The Falcons have played a lot of good football.
They're a division leader.
So being able to step in a situation where...
They're a division leader.
Yeah, no, I mean, they're a division leader. I get that they're in kind of a crummy division, but this Falcons team has played plenty of good football. They've beaten some good football teams. We saw how they played Kansas City, right? Being able to step in and obliterate this team, both on offense and on defense. I haven't doubted the Broncos defense this season, but to have this kind of performance on offense, you have to be thrilled.
I think Bo has also been ascending for quite a few weeks now. I mean, the Panthers game, Chiefs game, Falcons game, over those 3 games, those are 3 of the last 4, he's gone for 9 touchdowns and 1 interception through the year. And the one in between there, the one that people are going to say, hey, don't forget about that game in Baltimore where Baltimore kind of ran away in the second half from Denver. That first half, Bo didn't play that poorly. I mean, they were moving the ball up and down the field. Things just went wrong. Yeah, he had an interception in that game, and the final score was bad. But if you watch that game through, especially in the first half, the Broncos were moving up and down the field. Just something would go wrong at the end. And they've cleaned it up over the past 2 weeks. They should have beat the Chiefs. I mean, that's the blocked field goals we're seeing to win games. I can't remember a time where we've had back-to-back weeks with blocked field goals to win football games. It's just unbelievable. And the 2 teams it happens for, the Chiefs and the Packers, against the Broncos, against the Bears. Very typical teams that would happen for, and teams that would happen to. But I think Bo Nix I mean, Broncos fans are going crazy online. They should be. They're saying we got our franchise quarterback. And I love the overreactions as NFL fans where, and if next week Bo goes out there and lays an egg, you'll be, oh, all right, maybe we were a little too fast on Bo, but like you anoint people so quickly to be the savior of a franchise. The run that Broncos fans are on right now, even though you're 6-5, just enjoy the moment. I mean, I wouldn't declare him anything. I just say he's playing good football and we're having a lot of fun right now because this team, just a few weeks ago, everybody was looking at the Broncos going, I don't know. Like they're there, they're competing, but are they really there? I mean, this is the kind of game that makes you think they could be.
Yeah, and the Broncos firmly control their own playoff destiny at this point. They're 6-5 in the AFC. Their next 3 games, they go to Las Vegas to play the Raiders. They host the Browns, and then they host the Colts. And then week 17, they get to go to Cincinnati and play the Bengals. So it's not going to be easy, right? The Bengals in particular, a team that's surging and want to catch up to them. But if the Bengals play like this, if Bo Nix isn't making mistakes, he's doing what Sean Payton wants, he's getting the ball where it's supposed to go, and you see the defense that holds the Falcon offense that, while it hasn't been perfect, it's still Kirk Cousins. It's still a lot of weapons. They've put up plenty of good games. I think this Broncos team at this point is more likely than not they make the playoffs. They're probably my favorite to make it in that last wild card spot in the AFC.
They have 5 losses on the year. The first, week 1 was at Seattle, which they lost. Their other 4 losses, the Steelers, the Chargers, the Ravens, and the Chiefs. All 4 of them are the playoff teams in the AFC. Good losses. They're beating the teams that they should beat. And Atlanta is a playoff team as well right now. So I'm not saying that necessarily they should beat Atlanta, but at home, like that's a game you want to win. And I think Broncos fans have to be as happy as any fan base right now because I don't believe you're ready yet to go on a deep playoff run. I don't think anyone, it'd be kind of crazy to say they are. But the foundation that they have with Sean Payton there and with the way Bo Nix is playing, I mean, it's all set up for them to be very competitive this year and in the near future, or in the very near future. So those 3 games, the Raiders, the Browns, and the Colts coming up, you kind of need those 3, though. If we're just going to start playing that schedule game, you kind of need those 3 because Chargers, Bengals, Chiefs to end it. I mean, those are the money makers. Like if you win with those ones, you're going to get in. But these are the games here you need to win. You need to beat the Raiders. You need to beat the Browns. You need to beat the Colts if you want to be a playoff team. Because I think Miami's coming up. Cincinnati, we'll see what happens tonight with the Chargers, but they're probably going to make a move at some point with Joe Burrow. You can never count him out. So those are the games you need. But Broncos fans, enjoy today because this is a hell of a win. And it's unbelievable. When you have a rookie quarterback who starts thriving, like that's a fun feeling as a fan base. And just enjoy it.
Oh, yeah. And let's not forget, right? This Broncos team has $80 million in dead money this year. They're giving Russell Wilson like $55 million to play for the Steelers. This was supposed to be the reset year. We were like, okay, we're drafting our rookie quarterback. We're stepping back. We're taking it easy. We're finally sort of accepting that we're not a contender. And now you're like a frisky wild card team that's playing well enough to beat at least some decent teams, and in one case, blow them out. Yeah, I mean, I think the future's bright in Denver for sure. And I was a huge Broncos hater this offseason. I thought they wouldn't go anywhere. I'm pretty sure I predicted them to finish dead last in the AFC West. They've looked good this year.
How fun would a Steelers-Broncos first-round playoff matchup be?
Oh,
I mean, I think Steelers win that game, but if you have Russell Wilson playing against his old coach, especially with the way things ended there, that's just the storylines in the AFC playoffs are going to be so good this year.